Hello, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna be doing a whip and chat. I'm going to be working on this tiger keychain. Oh my gosh, it's a bookmark. A tiger bookmark. I did get this in a PR package that is, the unboxing will be in the future, from DIY Digital Art. And there are 15 colors, and this is actually going to be a square, but there's one special shape, this one. I'm testing out this. I haven't actually used this. I gave it to my mom to test out and she didn't like it, and I was like, you know what, this is perfect for something like this where I'll have all the drills already kitted up in this thing. They did not come with any codes, so doesn't really matter, right? So I don't normally diamond paint in this room, so I found that this here is like too soft for me. Like I have like a cushiony thing there, so I got my cutting board in here so that I can diamond paint on a harder surface. I know there's a plastic here. Okay, see. Do I need to get out my tweezers here? I know there has to be a plastic covering, because otherwise how can I diamond paint this? Got it. Here. So this is actually a square diamond painting. I don't know how zoomed in do you want? Like, do you want to see more of the diamond painting there? So I don't know if I should just go in order. Number one is this black. Unfortunately, there's no DMCs. So usually for squares, I do just use this 5-placer with a straight point. For rounds, I actually use a 5-placer with a angled tip, but I don't, you know what I forgot? Forgot to get my timer. So yeah, I only put in that much, right? And I'm gonna probably be doing this take longer to do this than I normally do. But yeah, I usually use the angled tips for my rounds, but I've tried using them for my squares and I can't get the hang of them. So I've just been using them for rounds, but I like them for rounds. And plus I figure it gives my hand multiple, I don't know, angles to work at, so hopefully I'm using different muscles if I'm switching from rounds to squares. I don't know, I'm just making things up. So yeah, this is just my second whip and chat. I got pretty good response from my previous one, so apparently you guys are not sick of hearing my voice and would like me to do future whip and chats. So yeah, I'm probably only going to do this every other week, mainly because, yeah, I don't know. I think I would run out of things to talk about. But let's see what happened. So last weekend, I didn't actually record anything during the weekend because I went to visit my niece. Well, and also visit my mom and my sister, but the primary reason to visit was the niece. So my niece is much bigger now. I was not half as terrified picking her up as the first time. Like when she was born, she was only like 5 pounds something, and then when I came to visit her, she even had lost weight from when she was born, so she was closer to 5 pounds instead of like 5.5 pounds. So now when I last visited her, she's actually closer to 7 pounds now. So now she doesn't seem it doesn't seem half as scary to hold her, because I'm telling you, there's a very big difference between a 5-pound baby and a 7-pound baby, because yeah, no, there's just she was just so tiny that I was terrified of holding her. And now she doesn't seem half as tiny and doesn't seem half as fragile. She still seems very fragile, but doesn't seem as fragile. So yeah, so I came and visited. I've also was able to feed her a couple times because my sister has not been feeding her from the source, mainly because um, sh they her and her husband were afraid that they weren't feeding her enough because they couldn't tell how much she was drinking from the source. So my sister has been pumping instead. So I was able to feed her a couple times. She is way more hungry, I don't know, enthusiastic, maybe that's the right word, to drink from the bottle. Because when I visited the previous time, when I was trying to feed her, like I felt like she was falling asleep almost immediately when she started drinking from the bottle. And then I'm thinking, okay, I could see why my sister started doing the bottle feeding. Because yeah, when the baby falls asleep like halfway through drinking, or a lot, not even halfway through drinking, it's hard to tell. But yeah, so much bigger now. Doesn't seem, I'm not half as terrified. I'm still terrified because, don't have children myself. Still terrified of holding her, but doesn't seem half as scary when she's a little bit bigger now. So yeah, so last weekend was Easter, so I went and visited during Easter. Um, I got my niece these like ears, like rabbit ears, to take for picture taking purposes, and then yeah, her head was just too small for the ears, so it didn't really work out. I got like her ears like this headband. It's supposed to be for babies, and yeah, but yeah, her head was just too small for the the headband, so that didn't work out. So that's getting returned, but my sister put her in this really cute dress, so we got pictures of her in the really cute dress. Um, my brother-in-law was like, "Are you torturing her?" I was like, "No, this is what you're supposed to do with babies. You're supposed to torture them so they can have the cute little pictures, right?" But no, we tried, but she was not having the ears. The dress, it was probably a tad bit too big for her. But I feel like everything is a tad bit too big for her since she was born so small. Um, so yeah, I still have not replaced the diaper, but that's what I'm just supposed to be there to play with the kid, not babysitting. You do not want to trust me babysitting the kid, because I'm still kind of terrified of the baby, even though she's not half as scary to hold as she was before. Um, but yeah, I did go visit during Easter. We had, I don't know, we had ham. My mom made some sort of mango dessert because apparently mangoes were on sale at the supermarket. Um, Other than that, yeah, we had ham, mashed potatoes, asparagus. Because we were like, what do people eat during Easter? Because yeah, I was gonna go buy like an Easter like basket for my niece, but then I was like, wait, no one's gonna enjoy that except us, the adults. So I didn't end up doing that. Um, Maybe in the future there'll be more things could do, but nope. Right now, my niece is too young. No Easter egg hunting and all of that stuff yet. So yeah, that was, yeah, I don't know. Like, other than feeding her and dressing my niece up in a nice Easter dress and trying to put some bunny ears on her, which was not working out, but so yeah. And my mom did actually complete a couple several of the diamond paintings that she took with her. So I did bring those back. I haven't recorded it yet. I should record at some point my mom's finishes. The last time I recorded it, I think I went up to finish number 36. She is at finish 80 something now. So I think I think I'm gonna do is, I was doing it every 12, and then so the next one should be like 37 to 48, and I think I might just go 37 to 50 and then just do every 10, just so it's easier for me to figure out the finishes. Number 2 is down here. Figure out the video making. I'll make it at some point. It's just, yeah. Sometimes when I'm showing my mom's finishes, I like don't know what to say during the video, so I'm like, I don't know. So, but yeah, I'll still just make like every 20. I mean, every 10. Yeah, every 10. By the time I finish the ones that she's already given back, she should give me back more. I don't know. My mom, when I did visit, she was asking me, oh, did you get some new diamond paintings? So I'm thinking, even though she still has several kitted up with her at my sister's house, I think she's getting to the point that she's probably done the ones that she wanted to do the most, and what's left is stuff that she still likes but don't feel like doing. Like, that happens to me. Like, I end up kitting up a whole bunch of things, and then I've pawned, and then by the time it's time for me to do one, I just don't feel like doing it. So I get it. So I think I might start kitting up a little bit more to bring with me when I go visit my mom again the next time, or visit my niece the next time, and as a side, visit my mom. So I might kit up a couple more of the ones that I don't think I'll get to, but she did give me back some containers, so I have more of my containers back. Yeah, and I'll just kit up things I think she might like. I mean, worst case scenario, she doesn't end up doing it. I have actually plenty of storage, so I have the luxury, I guess, of kitting up. I have to say, this square diamond painting that I'm doing is actually relatively decent. There doesn't seem to be too much gapping in here or anything, so yeah. And the drills seem okay quality so far. For, just this special. I did this primarily because I was like, ooh, does that look like square drills? So I saw the bookmark and I was like, ooh, square drills. But yeah, I think I might start kitting up a couple more than I would think that I would do, just so that I could bring it with me the next time I visit my mom. And she did, like I said, she did give me back storage, and I've already kitted down some of them, so there is extra storage. So so maybe, yeah, my kitting ups will be a little bit longer again. I don't know. We will see. And maybe I'll start choosing more round diamond paintings. I might just, yeah, we'll see. I'm still like planning, like I don't plan out my stuff that often, that easily. So yeah. I like look at the stuff and I'm like, which one, what do I need to do? The only reason I'm doing this one in the WIP and chat, because I thought it would be small enough that I'd be able to finish it in the time for a WIP and chat before I run out of things to talk about, because I'm telling you, I'm gonna run out of things to talk about. Because yeah, I mean, I already talked about my visiting for Easter, and now I'm like, I don't know, nothing. We did interview for one of the openings I have at my work, and yeah, and then I have someone I want to hire, and I'm still trying to figure out what I have to do to even just get permission to give the job offer. I kind of almost feel like it shouldn't be me who does this. I should just tell like the hiring folks, be like, okay, I interviewed people. This is the one I want. And make it happen. Because yeah, I feel like it's not really my job to do the afterwards part, but other than like calling them and saying that we want you, we chose you, but and I don't know enough about the process that what paperwork I have to fill out, because there's always so much paperwork. I had to write like a justification memo for why I wanted to hire said person, and why I wanted to start them up at a certain salary level, and I was like, I have to do all of this. Is this it for number 4? I have all this extra. I feel like I had more for number 4 than I had for drills for these other ones that needed more. Perhaps I should bling something up. Nah, let's just leave it as is. The J is going to be gold, so that's going to be blinged up enough. And plus, my ABs are in another room, so... But yeah, just having to do like the paperwork part of being a supervisor is not entertaining. I feel like it's too much paperwork, and I feel like it's not my job to do it, because I feel like, I mean, me performing the interviews, coming up with the questions for the interviews, I feel like, yes, that's my job, but the hiring part, with all the like paperwork and things, I feel like that should be someone else's job. But yeah, it's apparently still part of my job. But I have to give another presentation. Like, I have to give a presentation about the project I was working on prior to my being supervisor. Again, so yeah. I'm like, okay, fine. I was able to talk to the governor. I could talk to more people, sure. So yeah, I feel like I've done more presentations in the last 3 months than I have had to do the whole time I've been working where I work, so it's different. That's what I get for signing up for this. And what is nice though is, okay, so my workplace has this day in May where we usually, where the supervisors do cook up a breakfast for the people working there. So now, supervisor. And see, the thing is, last year, 2020 and 2021, it was canceled. We did not have the breakfast. But now, now we're supposed to do the breakfast this year. I realize I might be off camera. We're supposed to do, we're planning to do the breakfast this year. So it's kind of like hopeful. I feel like, okay, now we're kind of getting back to normal-ish, as normal as the situation could be, still with more still teleworking a good chunk of our time. But now I'm like, okay, I have to do breakfast. So I have to figure that out. I don't even know like, so I'm like, okay, I'm thinking in my brain, we don't have a kitchen per se, so if we were going to cook the breakfast, I would have to get some sort of electric, I don't know, electric cooking device, because we don't have a kitchen. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to buy that. But then I'm always weary about appliances that I haven't used yet. So yeah, I don't even know what part of the bread, because we're not planning it until next week. But it's for the following week, so I don't know what part I'm supposed to take in. So I don't really want to buy anything until I know. So hopefully I don't burn things if that's what I'm gonna be doing, because yeah. when you're working with new appliances, lots of times you do start burning things until you get the hang of how hot you should make a setting. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what part I'm gonna be doing in the breakfast. So, but that should be fun. That just means if this works out, then perhaps this year we'll have our Christmas potluck. We'll have the Halloween potluck. Yes, Halloween. I don't know why there's a Halloween potluck, but there's a Halloween potluck. Um, Halloween potluck. And then there's always all these like dessert events. Like, I don't know, we usually have like a bunt day, like where people make bunt cakes. And then sometimes in the summer we have like a berry day because there's a lot of blackberries and things like that that grow wildly in the area. Like there's a park near my work where sometimes during the not rainy times, um, my workplace would go on walks there, and there would be this whole like massive section that just has these wild blackberries that we would just bring a like a little container to start picking them. So so yeah, we have like a berry. What's funny is, okay, so there was one year where I think it was just like a weird year where the berries just did not grow well. So I was gonna, so for the berry day, I was gonna make, I forgot what I ended up making. Um, but I was gonna make something, but then when I go to the store to buy them, the blackberries are like way expensive. I'm thinking you could just get these like for free off a bush somewhere. Um, so then I decided to make something blueberry instead. But that was actually kind of good because everyone else was making something with, no one else made something with blueberries. Yes, I was outside of the scope of the things, but no one really cares. So yeah, but I haven't baked in a while. Like, I made some banana bread, but I mean, I used to do a lot more baking. Um, but I haven't done it since the pandemic, since like the beginning of the pandemic, mainly because when I was baking things, it was only for me since I'm by myself. And I don't want to eat a whole, I mean, it's not that I don't want to eat one. I just, yeah, I try not to eat a whole batch of something so that, because it could, yeah. So what ends up happening is I end up eating the whole batch of cookies, or end up eating the whole batch of banana bread or something. So I try not to bake too much because then I end up eating the whole batch, because I used to like bake things and then I'd bring it to work. And then other people would eat the rest because that way I could have the fun of baking something but not feel compelled to eat the whole batch. But I wonder if it's starting up again where I'll be able to just bring it to work. Although, see, the thing is with work, so since we are still doing some teleworking at my work, like personally me, I telework pretty much 3 days a week most of the time and come in um, 2 days in the week. Most of the time during any day of the week, there's only about half of the folks in on the day. So there's not as many people like physically at the office at the same time. There's certain days where there's more, like Fridays, it's like a ghost town at work. Like, I think Friday is when people are like, I'm just going to telework on Friday. And Fridays are usually one of my teleworking days too, but sometimes I have to go in for a certain thing. Um, but yeah, Fridays tend to be a ghost town. Um, it's actually sometimes one of the best days to go into work also because it is a ghost town and no one is um, interrupting you, because Yeah. Sometimes you do get a lot of distractions. Because mainly because I think people hold longer conversations now because we are teleworking, so we're not having the daily what the like when you used to go into work daily, you would have like the little like short conversations, but you would have them daily. While when you don't go to work as often, it could be like several days before you see someone again because you just didn't happen to go to work at the same day as they did. And since we don't really have set days when we go in, some of us I try to go in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But sometimes I come in Wednesday and Thursday, or sometimes I come in on Monday or Wednesday. So it just depends on what if I need to be in for any specific purpose, I will go in. So yeah, I think people end up holding longer conversations with each other because you didn't have that chance to have like those short conversations that people have every day before when you were at work every day. Um, but I wonder if this is the beginning. This is what it's going to be like at work because we I mean we're still doing teleworking, and we have so we're still doing the teleworking thing. So and it doesn't seem like it's gonna go away. So which is good because personally I like the teleworking thing. Sometimes I feel like I get more done staying at home than going to work. Um, but but yeah, it has changed dynamics a little bit. I feel like because since we don't see folks every day, we don't know sometimes when some people are going to be in or not. So if we do hold something like that breakfast, I don't know if people would come in because we're doing the breakfast, or it would just be half the amount of people because you know what I mean. So I guess we will see because a lot of folks do the teleworking thing, but would come in like part of the day, like for people working at the lab, let's say. There's a part that you have to do and you have to physically be in there to do it, but once you finish it, you're just like, oh, okay, I'm finished with that. I could go back home and then process the stuff at home on the computer. So there's certain things that you only really need to be there for part of the day. Me, I tend to kind of go in for like if I'm gonna go in, I pretty much go in for the full day because I'm already there anyway. So, but yeah, it's changing. I guess we will see how everything comes out on the other end. Because yeah, right now I think it's just one of those, we're starting up on the social things that work that were pretty much canceled in the last 2 years, and I guess we will see how everything pans out. Um, I mean, it's kind of strange. Like, I was talking to someone at my work who was hired during that pandemic, and she was telling me it was weird because you don't get the same interaction with your coworkers. Like, you don't talk to them. Like, you talk to your coworkers that have something to do with exactly what you're doing, because not everyone at work are like, even though we all work for the same place, we are working on separate projects and stuff. So there are coworkers at work that have no part in the thing you're working on, so you don't have any real reason to interact with them outside of just seeing them in the hallways. So when you're hired during the pandemic and we're still doing our teleworking, you it is, I think, a little difficult to build, I guess, the office relation, like office camaraderie that you would normally build by just being near each other in proximity. Does that make sense? So yeah, she was saying that it was a little strange starting up in the pandemic, because she started in 2020. It was strange starting during the pandemic, but and it's only just really like I told her at some point, I was like, you know what, you should have like what she does is kind of interconnected with what I'm doing too. So I told her at some point, you're gonna have to take over some of the parts that I've been doing and my group has been doing, because that's part of her duties, but we've been doing it since we knew for a while. Her position was vacant for a while. So when someone's position is vacant for a while, then the people left over have to do it. So you know, the people in my group ended up doing some of the work that she should have been doing. And I told her, you've been here long enough that you're gonna have to start, I don't know, performing some of the duties that my group and I have been doing ourselves. So hopefully that will start becoming the case. Because the problem is, since her position was empty for a while, she had all of this backlog of other stuff that she had to take care of, and that's why I wasn't telling her that she should be doing some of the stuff yet, because I knew she had that big backlog of the other stuff that got, you know, like there's certain things that are urgent, so we have to do it at a certain time, but there's other things that are more like not as urgent, so it can wait. So she had to take care of a whole bunch of stuff that was not as urgent and could wait, while we ended up having to make do with figuring out how to do certain things that we had to do then and there. So yeah. So now that she's been there like over a year now, I'm like, yeah, you know, this part, I feel like we shouldn't be doing it. I feel like you should be doing it. And then because it's part of her role. So yeah, I think once she still has a big backlog of that other stuff. It was, yeah, no, her position was empty for a while. And so, but now I'm like, yeah, you know, after you get a hold of that, I really don't think my group should be doing this part. So, might have to talk to you at some point about you starting to take the responsibility for that part. And it's, yeah. So, things are changing. So wait, what was I? Oh yeah, I was going to start like answering the questions from, because I can't think of anything. So I'm going to start answering questions from the last WIP and chat. I don't think I got that many, but I got a lot of very nice comments about me continuing to do these WIP and chats. So thank you guys very much. So let's see. Question. Can you walk us through your logbook? Oh yeah. I did make a video last week on Wednesday about my logbook. So I kind of feel like I've addressed some of the stuff on my logbook. I need to make this bigger. It's hard to read. It's hard to read the stuff while I'm doing this. Okay, so wait. Can you walk us through your logbook? I'm interested at what point in your book, what point do you put it in your book and stuff? Okay, so the logbook, I don't actually put the stuff into my logbook until I've kitted it up. So this I didn't put in until just right before this video, because this is C. Where is C? Okay. So I don't put it into my logbook until then. Until then, I have it in... I have it all in my spreadsheet, and then I have all my pictures on my thumbnails and stickers in this like folder here. So, and then I would transfer the picture into my journal at the time of me kitting it up. So yeah, otherwise it's in my binder there. So then I kind of flip through that sometimes to see if I want to do any of them. And then I do have all of my diamond paintings in a spreadsheet, and that's how I come up with this label here with this information that I do print out. Like, I print them out in labels. So I have like, these are the ones I have recently. I print them out in labels and using mail merge. And since I do get a lot of diamond paintings at a time, I'm able to do that. And then I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but yeah, the spreadsheet is pretty much where I get all the information and I am able to put it into there. But otherwise, I don't make the journal entry until the time of kitting up, mainly because, one, I keep changing my mind about my journal, like I keep changing what's in it. And two, I don't know if I'm gonna be the one doing certain ones, and at some point, so, and plus, this takes up a lot less space than me having a page for each one of these diamond paintings until I go do them. So yeah. That. So yeah, until I kit it up, it's still in my binder there with all the pictures, until I go and do it. But the binder does already have the picture and the sticker for my inventory from my spreadsheet. So, and then when I do update my spreadsheet of when I finished it, when, like, I do that like in like a several at a time. So sometimes I would just have my journal and I'd just be in front of my computer and just update my spreadsheet with whether things were finished or not. But most of my information is in my journal, mainly because I do time things and I do write notes while I'm diamond painting, and having the journal there next to me makes it easier to do than if I were to go and open up my spreadsheet on my computer. But at the time of ordering is when I make the entry for my spreadsheet. And then I don't give it an inventory number until I received it, because there have been times where I have ordered and not received something. So I didn't want to give something an inventory number until I received it. So yeah, my inventory numbers, I just started at 1, and I just keep going up another 1 every time I receive something. So, like, if you're interested, this is actually diamond painting 517 in my inventory. And no, yes, I know I have a lot of diamond paintings. I do have a lot of diamond paintings. So, but between my mom and I, we have finished already 300 diamond paintings. So my stash is like more than 300. So my stash is more like 100 something diamond paintings and not 500. Yes, even 100 something seems obscene. But yeah, like I said, between my mom and I, we finished over 300 diamond paintings. So, man, I hope I'm not going to run out of the sea. That's why I was like, this one I barely use, and look at how much is in there. But yeah, that's how I would share my spreadsheet. It's just that I don't use Excel. I use Open Office, because at some point I was too cheap to pay for Excel. And I'm still kind of too cheap to pay for Excel. So, and plus, me sharing my spreadsheet really is not that helpful, because it has the information I have, and if you're not, and it's not really, yeah, I still just enter the information. So, but I do use mail merge to make the stuff that I want to go into from my spreadsheet into this label here. I used mail merge for that. And and I figured out how to use mail merge from a couple, you know, online tutorials. So, and then I haven't really updated my label for my mail merge in a long time. So mainly because I feel like it has the information I want. Everything else is information I need to enter in anyway after I see the diamond painting, because yeah, I don't know how many colors most of the time it has until I get it. So, and that I just put into, I used to put in how many colors things had on my spreadsheet, and it just got to, it just became just like another extra entry, and I was just, I ended up taking it out. Because I used to, cause see, back in the day when I used to not have so much storage, I used to kit up based off of my storage situation. So like if I had storage that could fit a certain thing, I would preferentially choose a diamond painting that had that I was able to use based off of the storage, which is, yeah. So now that I have probably way too much storage, I haven't had to do that. I just get a diamond painting and I'm like, okay, what storage can I use? Oh, this one. It might not be the one I really, really want to use, but I have something that will work for it. But yeah, like I said, too much storage now. So next one. Congrats. Do you like special shaped diamond paintings over regular diamond paintings? Okay, so in my list of which diamond paintings do I like the most, I like squares the most. I don't know why. They're sometimes the most annoying one because you kind of have to have relatively good drills, otherwise squares can be like a massive hassle, especially when there's gapping, when they don't fit, when there's popping. So squares have, like, I feel like the most possible problems that can go with them, but yet for whatever reason they are the most satisfying to me. Do not ask me why. I know some people really dislike squares, and I know some people really love squares, and I do all. But squares, for whatever reason, are my favorite, followed by probably the crystal rhinestones and specials. Um, and then rounds are my least favorite. For whatever reason, I find rounds kind of boring sometimes. I don't know why. Although when I finish them, I'm like, wow, I remember, like, so rounds sparkle a lot more than squares, like, because I think just the way the facets are on round drills, they have, like, they twinkle really well when they hit the light. Squares don't have that. Squares kind of just do this more like shimmering look. It still twinkles really, it's still like is shiny, like really beautiful, but rounds tend to have a better like twinkle. But for whatever reason, when I'm doing the rounds, I kind of feel they're a little bit more tedious to me, and I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I enjoy the squares more. Even when they have issues, I still enjoy them more. Oh wait, there's a number 1 here. I should just do it while I see it, because I already know I finished number 1. So yeah, squares are my favorite. The rhinestones, the crystal rhinestones, and are probably my second favorite, followed by maybe the crystal rhinestones with specials, and then rounds. Rounds mainly because, I don't know, for whatever reason, I do kind of find them a little bit boring. Maybe because rounds are so forgiving. Like, you can place the rounds kind of badly. You could use kind of misshapen rounds and it still looks fine. Wow. I don't know. Maybe I like the extra hassle that squares give me. But yeah. What has been your favorite diamond painting you've done so far? Let's see. I would have to say because it's in my bedroom and it's really awesome, but I did this 3 panel from Mian like last year, and it's this beautiful 3 panel of like, I think they were about 40 by 55 centimeter diamond paintings, and of these flowers, and they also had some special shapes in them, and I have them framed on over my headboard in my bedroom, and so I see it like every day, and it just still looks really awesome. um if I remember, which I highly doubt I'm gonna remember, I will put the um link to the finished video of it in the eye. But I have to say that was one of my favorite ones to do, because it's like the simple type of image I kind of like to do sometimes. Um, so, and they're, even though technically with it being 40 by 50, I think it was 40 by 55, that is a very big diamond painting. That's like a 120 by 50. Um, but since I treated it like um 3 smaller diamond paintings, I don't think, and I took long breaks between each diamond painting, I don't think it registered to me that it was a massive diamond painting. Because if you've been on my channel a while, you might notice I don't tend to do too many of the big diamond paintings. I feel like when I do the big diamond paintings, I get burnt out doing the big diamond paintings. So you will actually save money doing the bigger diamond paintings than not, because the bigger diamond paintings are, you spend probably only a little bit more on the bigger diamond painting compared to the smaller diamond painting, and you spend more time doing it, so your time to price ratio is better for the bigger diamond paintings. But I do get burnt out doing the bigger diamond paintings, so that's why you see me usually do these smaller ones more often, because but yeah, I tend to like the more simpler images because I think they turn out better on diamond paintings, and then the more complicated the image becomes, the more you notice the pixelation on the diamond painting. So yeah, I think my favorite one is probably going to be the 3 panel that's in over my bedroom. Um, I have done a couple bigger ones that are also like my bigger, like the bigger ones make really awesome like paintings all over your house. Um, so I have, yeah, but I would have to say it's the 3 panel I got from Mian. Um, it's just some simple flowers that had some special shapes and some ABs and things like that, but it turned out really good. Um, so that was the question there. Um, my question is, when you work on larger canvas, do you go by color or do you go section at a time? So the larger canvases, I go section at a time, but then I do it by color after that. And I tend to work on relatively big sections. I would probably say most of my sections that I work on are probably like at least 15 by 20 centimeters big. So I do work on big sections at a time. And then if I don't necessarily always finish it in a day, but I have the luxury that my diamond painting table is, what letter is this? F. I have a luxury that my diamond painting table is pretty much my diamond painting table. I don't really use it for anything else. So after I'm finished diamond painting for the night, I just end up leaving the diamond painting on the table, and then I cover it up with a with plastic, one of the plastic covers, because I usually have like a plastic, I think I have a plastic cover that I got from like probably it was like a 40 by 50 or a 30 by 40. Yeah, probably it's a 30 by 40. I have a plastic covering that I got from like a 30 by 40, and then I just used that to cover up the part that I hadn't finished that day. So yeah, even so I used to work on smaller sections that I would be able to finish in the night, but I stopped doing that. I just end up working on, like I said, like the 15 by 20 centimeter section. If I don't finish it that night, then I will just cover it up with the plastic, and I would start it up again the next day. And then the next section would be another big section. Mainly because since I don't know, I find it easier to work on the bigger section so that I don't have to take my drills out that often. Perhaps I could do one of these tray things, but I don't like doing the tray things, mainly because I'm only doing it here because I'm in a different room. But my main diamond painting table is not against a wall. It's actually on wheels. So I sometimes do move it. I do move my diamond painting table away when I have guests, and so that there's more space. But I have it in my living room facing the TV. So since it's not but it's a relatively big table, but since it's not against the wall, I'm too afraid to have more than one color open at the time. So yeah, that's why I work on sections, but bigger sections. But then after I do my big sections, I go by the color. Now, 30 by 40s, like those little like 30 by 40s that you get, like that's more like 25 by 35, those I have had the tendency recently to work on that by color. Like I would still kit it up, but I would work on the whole thing by color as opposed to working on it in sections. But anything more than that, I would work in big sections by color. I don't know how you could work by color on the very big diamond paintings, because at some point it's just you're gonna miss like this whole big section of color. So, and plus when they're big, for me, so the big diamond paintings, like when last time I did the big diamond painting, what I ended up doing was I divided it in half, and then I divided it in half again, length. Like I like to work, I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. So like the last big one I did, which was a 60 by 80. So it was, so here, let's pretend this is the 60 and this is the 80. So I cut it in half this way, and then, or I sectioned it in half this way, and then I did another half. And then that half, I think I sectioned into 3. So then I ended up working, so then on the bottom half, there were 6 sections. So I ended up working actually on the middle right, and then I did that, and then I moved it up, and then I worked on the bottom, and then I flipped it around, and then I started working in the middle again, and then moved down. That way, I never, so because see, when it's big, you end up having the thing overhanging, like hanging over you. So I never really liked having the stuff with drills be the one that's on my lap. So I always kind of had the stuff that was undrilled be the one that was overhanging on my lap. So that way I didn't have anything with drills hanging over on my lap. And I usually usually start from the bottom. I don't know why I start from the bottom. I could just do the same thing and start from the top and then just keep moving it up. But yeah, I don't know. I just got used to starting from the bottom right. Just because. And that's what I do for the not massive ones. Like a 40 by 50, I'll just start at the bottom right. Because I feel like if I start from the bottom right, everything will be right side up at that point. And then when I turn it around for the last part, I will have gotten used to the symbols. So even though it was upside down, I would be able to find my drills right away. But I don't know. I think once you get used to doing a certain way, it's hard for you to change your habit, even if you hear about a much better way of doing them. That's what I've been finding. And I think that's why I've also been reluctant to use the drill tower for pretty much most of my diamond paintings, because I feel like if I started going that way, it would just completely change my system, and I don't know if I would like it. Like, yeah, you get set in your ways. So, so yeah. And I also recently figured out that the MOSFET trays, I don't know. I just thought of it because I was shaking this. The MOSFET trays, the little like these like ridges here that hold the tray, the drills in line, they're not good for round drills. I don't know if anyone else has experienced it, but I feel like round drills get stuck in the little lines in the MOSFET trays because there's not enough space in there. So I stopped using the MOSFET trays for my round drill diamond paintings. And it's worked out so much better. But they're awesome for the square diamond paintings because squares are slightly smaller in width than the rounds. So, next question. Let's see. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. What's my niece's name? Well, I don't know if I should release. I don't know how, like, what is good and not good to release on the internet. So I'm not going to say her name, but my sister did follow in the J traditions because my sister and I both have J first names. So, she does have a J first name. So, and all right, I'm actually almost done. I filtered my WIP and chat with things with questions, so I think everything else did not have questions, but really nice, kind support for my WIP and chat. So I think I'm gonna go to my regular comments and search by and filter by questions. Let's see. Have you thought of using a random spinner to help choose which diamond painting to do next? I have thought of it before. I wasn't gonna go use an app because I really dislike having extra apps on my phone and things like that. But I found like a online randomizer that I could just copy and paste my info in. But my main thing with that is I don't know if I did that, I would want to do the diamond painting that got chosen. For whatever reason, I feel like I have moods where I want to do certain diamond paintings over the other, and I think if I did the whole randomized thing, it would change it so that it was not my choice which one to do, and I might not want to do it. I don't know if that makes any sense. So yeah, no, I think, wait, I'm actually done. Other than, did I miss anything? So there is some gapping in this one. So let me write down that gapping. The drills were good. This is a it's fake leather. Okay. So all that's left are these gold. Oh my goodness, what did I do? This is what I get for being distracted. These gold drills. I think that's what I noticed about these green trays, since the lip is like on an angle. I tend to do that more often. But the whole reason I was using the green trays was so that I can write. I don't know. I started writing the number there. So I started making trays. So I started going like 1 through 10, and then I started writing extra letters on here because I figure if the things don't go to, they usually start going to the letters. So I have a bunch of trays that I rent and put the symbols on, and I figure the green trays, at least I could write on them. The white trays, you need those like tray, what do you call them? The tray stoppers that have the place for the label. And plus I have tons of these green trays. So I'm just using my 5-placer for these. It's actually working out relatively well here, doing 3 at a time. So yeah, that's why I have not done the randomizer picking my next thing, because I feel like it would take away the choice of like which one to do. It might make the choice easier to figure out what next to do, but what if I don't feel like doing the one that got chosen? I don't know. Am I strange in that way that I'm like, what if I don't feel like doing the one that's chosen? And then I'd feel like I'd have to return the wheel or something. Because there are times like, and that's probably why I have a couple diamond paintings that at some point I wanted to do because I kitted them up, but that I still haven't started, even though it's been months since I've had it kitted up. So yeah, that's why I haven't done the randomizer. I have thought of it. I've even tested out a web-based version that I was thinking of using on the channel. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, this is not, it might be good to get some of my old stash done, but I just thought it would, yeah, it's like kind of like, you know how like you like reading books, but once it becomes like a assignment at school, it changes how much you enjoy it. Like if, yeah, I don't know if that's just me. So that's why I haven't done it yet. Okay, next question. Where do you get those blue diamond stickers that are on each page of your journal? And the blue, okay, so the little blue diamond stickers, I made them. I do have a silhouette, like I'm guessing you mean these ones that have my finish. I do have a silhouette and I made the stickers myself. So yeah, I got it from myself. The diamond picture was actually a picture from Pixabay that I found. And that's where I got the blue background, and then the numbers I put in myself. And then I made several of them and I put them in my silhouette, which I'm still trying to figure out. Like, my silhouette and me have a hate-love relationship because sometimes things work out and then sometimes it's like, why aren't you seeing the registration marks? Curse you. Why do you keep doing this to me? But yeah, I made the blue stickers myself. So yeah. Sorry, can't tell you where I bought them. Joan, maybe you've already made a review, and would you consider doing a review on what all the different drills are made of and the pros and cons? Okay. Pros and cons of the drills. Okay, that's a completely different thing, so maybe I'll handle that at a different time. This is actually taking me much longer than I thought it would. Okay, so maybe next time. Do you seal your diamond paintings when hanging them and they're not behind glass? Yes. I'm gonna also seal this diamond painting because it's supposed to be a what do you call that, bookmark. So yes, I do seal my diamond paintings that are not behind glass. I only seal, though I don't seal pretty much all my diamond paintings unless they're going to be displayed without any protection, mainly because I have yet to find a sealer where I feel like it doesn't change how the diamond painting looks. I mean, I have found ones that I feel like are minimal changes, but I have yet to find one where I'm just like, all right, that looks exactly like how it was before. Probably the closest one that I have found that I feel like doesn't take away any of the sparkle has probably been the Krylon Glitter Blast that a viewer recommended to me. I believe it was Paula. She recommended Krylon Glitter Blast Clear. It was like, and it's meant, and it's like this sealer meant for glitter. And I have to say, even the special shapes tend to look really good still with that. So I feel like if the special shapes, which, you know, you end up getting things like this gold, or you get something with AB coating on them, or you get something like that are rhinestones. So though, if you could get special shapes to still look like their original, it's doing a good job. Um, but yeah, I have to say that has been probably the best one that has, at least that I've tried, that I feel like still looks like the original. But the problem is it's not the easiest thing to find, except online. So I kind of wish there was something I could just buy in the store. So, um, but I tried a couple other spray sealers. They just didn't look as good. So yeah, I at some point I'll make a video on the sealers that I have tried out. But I'm gonna wait till it gets more consistently warmer, or like the weather is more, I guess, what they consider room temperature for those sealers, because a lot of times when I used it, it was beyond the necessary temperature limits for them. So yeah, there is that finished. It took me 1 hour and 3 minutes. Okay. I don't care about the seconds. I'm just going for 1 hour and 3 minutes. So this took me 1 hour and 3 minutes, and I started this today, which is April 24. So 4/24/2022, and I finished 4/24/2022. This took me the 1 day to complete. Rendering. I think it actually looks pretty good, I have to say. So good. I thought the symbols were okay. The stick on this was actually very sticky. It was not that slippery, so this was good. I don't really have any comments, but yeah, it's pretty. There is some gapping, but it's not that obvious. So I kind of give this a better score on the gapping, and it's not popping. So yeah, this one, yeah, there's some gapping, but I feel like this has a good ratio of gapping to, it has a good, it's good enough. So yeah, there is that finish. I feel like if I was doing this without the WIP and chat, I would have turned this into rhinestones. I might still go back and pick these out and make them rhinestones. I don't know if I find rhinestones that I have. See, the problem is with squares, I don't have as many choices in my rhinestones, not like my rounds. So that's kind of why I feel like I should do more of my rounds, even though they're my least favorite. I don't know why. So yes, that is all I have for today. I did finish I did finish this. I have had requests asking if I would try to do my Heaven and Earth Designs diamond paintings as a WIP and chat. And I will have to practice a couple squares first. I will have to practice it a little bit, because I don't know if I'll be able to do a WIP and chat while counting squares. I don't know, my brain could do that. I give kudos to Rebecca at 4Kids at 147 to being able to talk while counting squares, but I don't know if I have that skill, but I might try. So that is all I have for today. So be sure to give me any more questions if it gives me something to talk about after I run out of what is happening during my week. And yes, be sure to add more questions. If not, I'll just take questions from my regular comments from every other video, because I get questions in all my other videos. So yeah, that is all I have for today. So thank you for watching, and happy diamond painting. Bye!